When people think of the Roman Empire falling, they usually picture the collapse of Rome in the 5th century. But the empire didn't actually disappear. Its center of gravity, its wealth, and its emperors simply moved east, establishing a new capital at Constantinople. Emperor Constantine designed the capital to be a dedicated imperial stronghold, engineering the city to function as a fortress from its very first foundation stones. Over the centuries, an immense concentration of wealth accumulated behind its walls. The city became a vault for Christendom's holiest relics, an imperial library of 100,000 ancient volumes, and a lucrative terminal for trade flowing between the Mediterranean and the Black Sea. Holding that much wealth made the city a primary target for every rising power. For centuries, the world's most formidable military forces, including the Sassanids, Avars, Arabs, and Bulgars, all marched toward its gates. They threw massive invasions at the capital. Time after time, these military machines impacted the city's defenses and were repelled without ever breaking through. This specific patch of land acted as a geographical advantage that protected the empire for 900 years. To understand how it finally fell, we have to look at the geometry of its defense. The city's primary defense was its peninsular geography. Surrounded by water, invading armies had to attack across a single western land corridor. To block this, engineers built the Theodosian walls. Enemies had to cross a deep moat, a palisade, and an 18-meter stone wall. The sheer verticality of these fortifications made them nearly impossible to climb under fire. From these battlements, defenders could rain arrows and incendiary chemicals onto any army trapped in the kill zone below. To protect the harbor, the Byzantines used a massive iron chain. Strung across the Golden Horn, it physically blocked enemy fleets from reaching the city's more vulnerable seawalls. This combination of geographical bottlenecks and tiered engineering created a system that could not be taken by traditional brute force. The 900-year winning streak ended not because the walls failed, but because internal political chaos opened the door for the Fourth Crusade. These crusaders were diverted from their original mission to Jerusalem by Byzantine infighting. As the city's leadership collapsed, they exploited a weakly defended section of the seawall. In 1204, the Crusaders spent 3 days stripping the city of its wealth. They looted the libraries and melted down classical bronze sculptures, including 4th century BC masterpieces, to manufacture coins. The Byzantines eventually reclaimed their capital, but the 1204 sack left it a hollowed-out shell. The city lost the population and the resources required to maintain its status. By 1453, the empire was reduced to essentially just the city itself. It now faced a new power with a tool that rendered the old walls obsolete. The Ottoman Sultan, Mehmed II, was 21 years old and determined to take the capital. Mehmed bypassed the problem of the Theodosian walls by hiring Hungarian gunsmiths to manufacture a massive arsenal of gunpowder artillery. These cannons were massive, dense iron tubes designed to hurl stone balls with enough weight to pulverize the city's masonry. After a 7-week siege, the sustained artillery fire finally shattered the 900-year-old stone walls, allowing the Ottoman army to swarm through the gaps. 1453 proved that no static defense can survive a shift in military technology. The medieval era of stone battlements was over. Mehmed immediately shifted from conqueror to architect. He knew the city was more valuable as a functioning capital than as a ruin. He halted the pillaging, resettled thousands of households, and began rebuilding the trade networks that had sustained the region for a millennium. He also converted the city's grandest cathedral into a mosque, architectural evidence of the city's transition into the center of a new Islamic empire. Mehmed recognized that the city's geography was a permanent prize. He wanted the ultimate imperial throne, and Constantinople provided it. The fall of the city sent Greek scholars fleeing to Italy, carrying thousands of ancient texts with them. This sudden influx of classical Greek and Roman knowledge in the West provided the intellectual material that accelerated the European Renaissance. With the Ottomans now controlling the gateway to the Silk Road, European powers were cut off from their traditional land trade. This blockage necessitated new maritime routes, pushing explorers out into the open Atlantic. The loss of the city redirected European history. It scattered the scholars and blocked the trade routes of the past, forcing the West to look both backward for knowledge and forward into the unknown